My brother texted me and my sister this in a group chat that we have this morning, and it's an article that says, confirmed, Netflix unveils first details of new anti-password sharing measures.
Boo.
So apparently there are over 100 million users worldwide that are using Netflix through the login credentials of a third party.
As you should.
As you should.
Yes, sir.
Here's the thing. I think they're like, I personally think they're going a little overboard here. I would do this a little bit differently, but this is just me. So everything is tracked now through, or it's going to be tracked through like IP address.
Like your home network. Yeah.
So if Matt, if you have a Netflix account and you're at home and you log into your Netflix account, and then RJ goes and logs into your Netflix account at his house.
It's okay. It's okay with me.
It's not okay with Netflix.
Yeah.
They're going to start charging you. They did this with some Latin American countries.
Yeah.
They're going to start charging you $3 per login. So,
so from my understanding,
What's
it's
this?
if you don't sign into the home network on a specific. So if I was using my laptop and I use Matt's password for 30 days, it'd be fine. But if I don't go to his house, sign in on his network, once those 30 days are up, they're going to start charging him. So you have to so you could do it, but you'd have to every 30 days somehow go to his house and sign into his network to re-up it.
what I don't understand is why they allow you to make these different profiles on these streaming platforms. If you can't,
They have family plans.
They not anymore though, because
Really?
it all has to. What I'm saying is you have to be on the same. They want the login to be on one IP address, one Wi-Fi signal.
Right. But you can pay for other devices
on the same Wi-Fi signal.
IP.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. So I could have my login on my Apple TV, and then my login on my laptop, and my login on my phone. But if I log in on my account on your Wi-Fi at your house, that's a no-go.
You're getting charged.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix was the first streaming service to rise. It'll be the first to fall.
I mean, if they keep this up, you're
no,
they're
they're
done.
going to reverse this in 6 months when they lose 1 million people, and then
A million.
They're
going to lose everybody. Everybody's
Yeah.
saying, I'm not paying for this. Do you know how much it is? If you want 4 devices, $20.
Yep.
4 of your own devices in your own house is $20 a month.
And that's to get 4K, and then they have other charges for HD. They're charging people $12 a month for 720p resolution. They're just they almost went bankrupt last year because they spent so much money on shit. They released shit. That 90s show. What are you doing?
I heard really bad
What are you
things.
doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah,
It's bad.
I heard really bad
stupid.
things.
And they cancel good shows.
At least they got Wednesday though.
Yeah, I guess.
But so I'll go to Sam's house. We'll watch Wednesday. I'll make popcorn.
And that's all right. Yeah, maybe this will bring the world
I was
together.
actually going to say, what this sounds like to me is I'm going to be inviting myself over to your guys' place.
Yeah, now people are going to come together as a community.
I'll bring
right?
snacks. I'll buy you guys. Do the Netflix. I'll bring snacks.
Yeah.
I'll
Great
be
show,
here.
by the way.
I'll be here.
What show?
Community.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
A lot of laughs.
Do you want me to watch it, Sam?
Sure.
Maybe I will.
Take that, Netflix. We're all going to watch it in our homes.
We're going to go to
All right?
Sam's house.
Listen, you save yourself $10 a month, and it's better. You could just subscribe to HBO for a few dollars more. You get better content anyway.
Yeah, amen.
I use his, so I'm good.
Thank you.
I use my cousins, yeah.
Yeah, we're all leeching.
Shout out Alex.
Well, I will say before we move on, I think that all the other streaming services are probably going to look at Netflix before they do any of this, and they're going to see how it works for them.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
it's
you
going to
know,
go.
yeah.
Listen, whenever you constrict, you know how they say never send an email when you're angry? You can they write a letter, put it in a drawer, sleep on it, read it the next day. We're like, oh shit, I was really going to blow up at this person, right? So Netflix is getting to the point where they're at the breaking point. Then they're going to come out with all these rules, right? About sharing passwords and everything else. The problem is, if they really come out with these stricter rules, people are just going to say, you know what? You're not worth the $15 a month. I'm done. Because I have 9 other subscriptions that I'm paying for that I really, I don't need Netflix now.
If I didn't get Netflix through my cable, I wouldn't have it.
I mean, dude, it's like having a roster of 8 girls. And then one of them's being all bitchy, high maintenance, buy me this, buy me that. See you later, drop you. I got 6 other ones. Let's fucking go.
But see,
7,
back in the day when she was the only one.
Yeah, then you
when
needed it.
When she was the only one, you were like, all right, fine.
Now you got
that is actually a great analogy.
You got HBO.
Yeah.
Dime. Hulu's like, all right, like, it's like doable.
Yep.
You get Paramount Plus. You don't feel great about it, but, maybe.
But you get a little Kevin Costner.
HBO's like hot and smart.
Oh,
it's like
HBO's
wife
a 10.
material. You know what I mean?
If you're going to marry one, it's HBO.
100%.
Yeah. Netflix was like the first one who was there, so it was like a special connection.
Yeah.
But you've kind of outgrown her a little bit.
Yeah, it's like Fuck, Kill, Marry, except HBO, Netflix, Hulu.
Yeah.
Fuck, Kill, Marry.
You could even
streaming
put
services.
Prime down there too.
Prime. Yeah, but Prime kind of
Amazon
sucks.
Prime.
Yeah.
After Lord of the Rings, I'm going down.
Prime's like the hot girl, but like it gets old quick.
You know what it is too?
No,
It's
Amazon Prime they put a lot of makeup on.
Yeah.
but
A lot of money. They're throwing. Yeah.
And they really don't though, because like Amazon Prime, you got to be like, Amazon Prime's like the last one at the end of the night. You forgot that you were there to pick up somebody, and then finally you were like, I don't want to go home alone. You're available, right?
Yeah, come home. Come on.
Amazon Prime. For me, it's not even the content of what's available. It's the UI. Like when you go in the user interface, when you go into Amazon Prime and you're like trying to find something
Amazon
to watch,
sucks with that.
it's like so bizarre. And then if you go to their search, they give you a whole bunch of stuff that like you can either rent or it's on Amazon Video, Prime Video. But the stuff that is available to rent, like you can't rent it through the app. Like,
Right.
Weird.
Mike Broniger, fix
I
it.
was going to say, get Broniger
Fix
on
it.
it.
It's just bizarre, dude. It's just bizarre stuff. I mean, I like I found some stuff. It's funny because I do go to Prime when I can't find something. I'll go like a free Prime included with Prime, and then the title of the
Sometimes
movie.
they got some gems.
Sometimes they got some stuff in there that
John
you can't
Clancy's
find anywhere
Jack Ryan,
Yeah,
season
Jack Ryan.
3.
The Boys?
Phenomenal.
else.
The
The
Boys,
The
yeah.
Boys is really
Boys.
good. But then you have like Rings of Power, and you're like, not feeling very powerful.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Movie Mob Podcast, episode 34. In studio, as usual, we got Matt. We got Nick behind the camera, and returned from Florida, making his Movie Mob return, Sam Reed. Welcome back, Sam.
Thanks, guys. Good to be here.
Yeah, so guys, before we get started, as always, Movie Mob drops Fridays at 6 p.m. Tune in every time, like it, subscribe it, send it to your friends. Let's get into it, though. We got some movie news today. We're kicking it off with big news, a lot of news this week, and it's most of it's exciting. The Last of Us. We've been reviewing it. We're going to talk about episode 3 at the end of the episode, but no surprise here. It's been renewed for season 2. It's currently the second most watched HBO show behind House of the Dragon. It's got 21 million viewers. That's surprising to me because it is such a, it was based on a game and stuff, but the marketing's been great. The reviews have been great. So, Matt, you surprised by this?
Not at all. And you know what HBO is great at, man? They're great at making appointment television. Week to week. I knew The Last of Us was going to be big when I go into work and my coworkers are like,
Sorry, that voice crack.
I know that was bad.
That
was bad.
That's all right.
Nah, but that's all right. No,
That's all right.
That's all right. No, but no, I know it was big when like I'm going into work and like my coworkers are like talking about, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you're checking out the zombie show, and the only show that had happened before was House of the Dragon.
Right.
You know what I mean? And White Lotus actually too. Those are the only 3.
It's always HBO.
All
They
HBO
always-
because they do it a week to week. And it stays. It gets people talking for months.
Yeah.
It's a moment. You remember those months, and I'm not surprised at all. I think well deserved as well.
Yeah, Sam.
I think they definitely learned their lesson with House of the Dragon, getting right on top of it, saying that we're going back for a season 2.
Yeah.
Picking back
Well, they
up
better
where we
shoot it
left
quicker
off.
than they did House of the Dragon, though.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, though, because I wasn't here last week on the episode. So Pedro Pascal, he has never been in a show that is lower than 89% Rotten Tomatoes.
That's a good stat.
So Narcos, Game of Thrones, Last of Us, Mandalorian, like you name it.
There you go.
All 89% and above. So what does that tell you?
He's good stuff.
He's a great actor.
He's good for the business. He's good for the people.
There you go.
Nick, excited about this? Surprised by this? Anything?
Not surprised at all.
No.
Happy that they announced the renewal. I think so. It is interesting because it is. So this is weird, and this will tie in later in the episode too. But it's a video game.
Yeah, but there's a second game.
Okay.
It came out 2 years ago.
And I'm noticing, because I always, you know me, dude. I love the BTS stuff, right?
Yeah.
The featurettes, if you will, disc
Yes,
2.
yes.
And I always watch the, you know what I mean?
No, that's good stuff. I agree. It's
You
good
open
stuff.
up the DVDs back in the day, you
No,
get disc 1, disc 2.
100%. The
I used
Lord
to
of the
do-
Rings
I was gonna say with the
documentaries.
Star Wars shit.
Dude,
Like,
disc
come
2
on.
is the reason
Yeah.
we're here today. Trust
Yes.
me. But like, yeah. So I always watch those after the inside the episodes from HBO,
Mm-hmm.
and they are changing a lot from the game, and they like self admitted they're like, yeah, I guess what did the producer say? He said if it's better, if it makes sense and it's better, we change it. Something, I don't know, something like if we feel it and it's better.
Which is how it should be, but I don't think they're not changing the story. Like, the story's pretty much the same.
I mean, we've had characters die differently. We've
yeah,
seen
but
things
that's not
that we don't
changing
see
the
in
story.
the game.
You know what I'm saying? They still die, you know?
Okay.
What?
I think it's different if you get shot by the cops versus if a
Well,
zombie.
I guess, but
you
I'm
know.
saying the overall story is they're staying on the same path.
Yeah, they get from A to B. It's just a different journey from A to B.
Yeah, I mean, listen, to me, I think they were planning on doing a season 2, like, before. They just didn't announce it yet.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played the second game, but it was very controversial. It got good reviews, but something happens in the beginning of the game that it's gonna get you surprised. So I'll leave it at that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to just say what it is?
No, I'm not going to tell you. It's a spoiler.
Don't tell me. Don't tell
But
me.
it definitely got the fans riled up.
Don't tell me.
So that'll be fun when
I
that
think
comes
I have
out.
a feeling. I think I have a feeling I know what it is.
Sure.
And I've never played this game at all, but I have a feeling.
But anyway, let's get on to the next one. The King of Pop, Michael Jackson. We were actually talking about this a few weeks ago, a Michael Jackson movie. Yeah, we're getting one. And Antoine Fuqua, great director, is going to be directing it. And Jafar Jackson is Michael Jackson's nephew, is going to be starring in the lead role here. There's a little image there of him dressed up, I think, set thing. Did you put that one in there? It was like
the black and white
one.
No, because
Yeah,
you
it was
couldn't
just
see anybody's face. I didn't put it in there.
But I don't know. I mean, just looking at him, great casting. Obviously, he's related. Matt?
I was gonna say it before you even said he was his nephew or whatever. I was like, this is a good-looking kid. He kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
I was like, I like that looks-wise. His name Jafar.
That's
Like,
that's the villain in Aladdin.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
I was gonna make a joke. I figured it was totally inappropriate and not okay.
That would have been funny.
I was gonna have Jafar from Aladdin be the first one.
that would've been
yeah,
cute.
Prince Abu. Like, dude, that movie is so good. I love Aladdin.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jafar's a dope name though.
honestly, with all the fucking, it seems like biopics are in.
Yeah.
Elton John, Elvis, Queen. I mean, I feel like this guy might have the most interesting life, of all the and who is fucking bigger than Michael Jackson? I mean, everyone knows Billie Jean, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So, what you want, the other stuff. I don't know.
This is gonna make Elvis look like a Disney show.
I can
this is gonna be big.
Or an acid trip.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see like the reaction when this comes out.
Yeah.
I'm really curious, but we'll see what happens. I mean,
Sam, you a Michael Jackson fan? You like the music?
Absolutely.
King of
I'm a
Pop.
big fan of Thriller. But in this case, I would say he's got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Because I think the critics are going to really hammer him on his performance.
As they should.
So I can't wait to see a trailer in the near future, see how he does. First look at him, how he looks in the costumes, and hopefully he puts on a good performance, one for the history books,
So I'm looking here. I'm curious to see if he's done anything else. Nick, what do you think? I know you brought up the Michael Jackson movie a few weeks ago, so you're probably excited for this.
Yes, I have my ups and downs with this. The ups are I love Michael Jackson. I love the music. I think it's dope. I literally could sing along to pretty much every single Michael Jackson
it's
song
classics.
there is. I think the kid looks like him a little bit, enough that it'll work.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm nervous about, though, is that Jafar is related to Michael. And so remember the John Gotti movie that came out with John Travolta?
terrible
Yes.
reviews.
Awful.
It was not a good movie.
E from Entourage directed that, I think.
There you go. I don't like he. He was my least favorite.
What has he directed since?
Yeah.
Right. So
And that's on Gotti.
yep.
Right.
So my issue is that because of the controversial things that happen surrounding Michael Jackson's life, I just hope that a biopic, in my opinion, is good when it's not autobiographical.
Oh,
Right?
I mean, this is going to be a Wikipedia page.
What do you mean?
Like this is gonna be Bohemian Rhapsody, like the glorified perfect. I don't think they're gonna go into any of that.
Well, they might. I don't know.
But I think you made a good point though, especially because they have a direct relative. Do you think his family's gonna want them to?
Well, I don't really know. There is a great TikTok clip of Michael Jackson that goes around, and it's actually him, and it's a weird one of those weird like celebrity kind of real moments where he's talking about going on tour in England,
Yep.
and I'll put it up here if I can remember to find it, or if I can download it or whatever. But he says in the clip,
Can we just do it again without just the negative saying that you don't like the tour? Just 'cause
I don't like it though.
I know, but you say this.
I go through
but what is
hell.
it setting up though? I don't understand.
I go through hell touring. Okay, then I'll make it positive then.
Yeah, it's just.
For when you know the truth.
Yeah.
dude, and then they go okay,
Maybe later.
He goes, and the next like take 2 or whatever.
And action, Michael.
I love to tour.
They're all dying. It's so funny, but like he really took a moment and he was like, I hate it. And it's funny because like talk about dedication. I mean, this guy's life was just insane,
Yeah.
dude. Insane, abused by his father and just forced into this like a workhorse, like a machine.
But that's the thing is like, the only reason we got such a dark movie with Blonde is because it was based on that fictional book. But like, if we look at all the other biopics, like they really don't go into those gritty parts of their life,
Which kind of sucks.
yeah, right.
I
But, so
wanted
don't-
more drugs in Elvis. I wanted more like
100%. In Bohemian Rhapsody too, they never got into that with Freddie Mercury. So I
Yeah.
tend to think that this is not going to be.
Rocket Man did pretty well.
That was cool because they twisted it. They kind of made it a musical. Like I thought that was well done.
Straight Outta Compton was pretty good.
Straight Outta
too.
Compton was good. Yeah,
I'm
but
surprised it took this long. I remember
agree.
where I was when Michael Jackson died.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Like that,
No,
like
that was
that's a
that
moment,
was
dude.
huge.
And it's one of the things that when I look back on my short life, but when I look back on my life and I'm like, oh, things I'll never get to do because of XYZ,
Yeah.
I would love to go to an MJ concert. You know how
Yeah.
dope that would be? He put
Yeah.
on a show. Remember when he did the Super Bowl? It was like one
Right.
of the best
Prince,
Super Bowl
too.
halftime
Just the
shows
balls.
ever.
yeah. We need a Prince movie. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
that'd be good.
Give me Whitney Houston.
Daily
They already
Ballad.
did it. Didn't they just come out with one? I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Okay, well,
Did
Whitney,
they?
Whitney died a
I
while
think it
back.
just came out.
Oh.
Yeah.
I watch it.
Yeah,
I love Whitney
Oh,
Houston.
the
They
Whitney-
shot it in Boston.
They shot it in Ipswich.
Yeah.
They shut
Really?
down all of downtown
Yeah.
Ipswich.
I love Whitney
Marina
Houston.
Bay.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
And that's
shut
all
up.
right.
Shut
But
up.
before we move
She's
on,
great.
I just looked up. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
find any acting history with him. So this might be his first major
Which
act.
makes me even
That's
more
not
nervous.
great.
Not good to
Hey.
play MJ.
He does sound like him though. I've saw some videos like his like singing is like pretty on point, but like it's about the performance. You know what I'm saying? Like so we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm sure it'll be huge, but we'll see.
You know.
On to the next one. Get your tissues and lube out, baby. James Gunn. He hit the internet yesterday. He said at the beginning of the new year, he said he's going to release his DC slate for the next 8 to 10 years in January. He waited until the last day of January to do it, and he put out a little video. But we got a lot of news here. But before we move into the kind of the new stuff, Matt,
Yep.
you must feel great right now. The Batman titled Batman Part 2 is coming out in 2025.
Well, frankly, this is the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
The Batman Part 2. I mean, Tom Brady retired. That was tough. Tough to take. But Batman 2. I mean, thank God we have a date. I can circle a date. Before it all ends. Thank God. I mean, that was maybe the best movie ever, the first one, and thank God they got Matt Reeves coming back.
Hey, Matt, let's put that mic right in front of your face.
Batman 2.
There you go.
And everything else, I could give a fuck. Batman 2. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little sad. Like October 3rd, 2025. It's gonna be fucking 3 years.
You like the title?
The Batman 2.
Part 2?
Good.
Could they have got
No,
yeah, I like
simple.
it too.
That's
yeah.
it. Batman 2.
Matt Reeves, this is describing it as a crime saga.
Good.
That's what he's calling it.
That's the fucking best, dude.
And that's all right.
It's the balls.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But Joker, Folie à Deux,
Yeah,
the sequel to Joker. So these little spin-off movies are going to be basically that they're going to call them Elseworld stories.
Oh, that's
so
cute.
they're not connected to the main universe that they're going to be working on, which I like. I think it's going to open up the door for interesting side movies, which the MCU doesn't do anymore, which sucks. But so that's going to be interesting. And then, no surprise here, The Flash that's coming out this year is going to reset the entire DC universe. So, Sam, excited about Batman 2?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Same with the Joker, but Flash, no, not at all.
James Gunn said it's one of the best superhero movies he's ever seen.
James Gunn?
Is that what I said?
It is.
I'm having a stroke. Nick, any opinion on this? I know you like Joker.
I do. As long as it's a separate thing. I really do need to watch the Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Well, you got 3 years now. So.
I know. I got time.
Yeah.
So I got no rush. No rush there. I'd like to see the HBO series with Colin Farrell.
The Penguin.
After watching Banshees, it's like even harder to imagine that he played that role.
Oh, he's so good.
He's awesome.
He had a great year. But
He's so good.
So let's get into it. Now, a lot went down here. James Gunn released his little slate here. Now, he did say that there are going to be movies that they haven't announced yet. But to no one's surprise here, we're actually getting a Superman movie before Batman 2. It's called Superman Legacy. All they said about it is that it's going to be a younger Superman, not an origin story, but it's going to be about him dealing with his Kryptonian heritage on Earth, which is kind of like Man of Steel. So, again...
It's exactly like Man of Steel.
Yeah, but anyway...
Did they bringing back Marlon Brando?
Yeah. Great. But I don't know. I'm excited because it's Superman. I don't like the title. That seems like a third movie title. But James Gunn's writing it, possibly directing it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, RJ, I'm not going to lie. When I got this text from you and then Cam Lafada texted me, that's when I knew it was big. You know, this is a big moment when I get the text. Frankly, everything he said, I don't like it. You know, I'm underwhelmed. I'm disappointed.
Okay.
I don't know any of the shit he's talking about other than with like the continuous story stuff.
Ones.
The main story other than Superman here. He said Flash is going to reset the whole universe. If it's a banger movie, I guess. But I don't know how I feel about that. They're cutting all the other actors, but they're going to keep this fucking kid, Ezra Miller. And then Superman Legacy, that would be the one movie I would be excited for. Finally, a solo Superman movie, except they got rid of Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So I'm not as excited
Which
as
is
I would be.
interesting.
I can't wait. Do we know who it's going to be or no?
Not yet.
Imagine,
probably Comic-Con.
Imagine when they introduced the new Clark Kent.
Well, no,
you're going to be creaming your jeans.
Here's the thing, though, is
as
we'll see here, he's keeping some actors from the previess thing. So
he's just demoting them. Momoa's like the sidekick.
Right.
now.
His excuse, there were rumors saying that James Gunn didn't like Henry Cavill. I'm starting to believe that because if he kept some of these other people and he's considering keeping Ezra Miller, I don't think he liked Henry Cavill.
I don't think he did either. He would have fucking kept him. Everyone wanted him. He wanted to do it. So if he liked him, he'd be Superman. Listen, James Gunn's a great writer. I like how his mind works. He's kind of weird, but it's funny. It works. So I'm holding out. I think it could be good. Because I like Gunn and I trust him. Yeah. But I'm not excited.
Well, a lot of these are the casual people would not know these. I didn't know many of these. I had to look them up. But let me just read them off before we move on. The Brave and the Bold, that's Batman. I'm sure it's going to be called Batman, the Brave and the Bold. But what he said is it's probably going to be an older Batman, and it's going to bring Robin back to the big screen.
I don't know if I like if they're doing a side thing,
I like this because I think this Batman's going to be different. I think it's going to be an older Batman, and Damian Wayne is going to be his son. Is going to be in it.
I know one Batman, and he's Vengeance.
Yeah.
All right. So.
But I don't know. I support this. Sam, I'm sure you support it too because I think this is going to be more of that Justice League animated series Batman that we like. The other one, The Authority, from what I did some research, this sounds like it's kind of like The Boys, but in the DC. They're very sketchy superheroes, which is up James Gunn's alley. Supergirl, this one I was surprised that they announced it this early on, but it sounds like they said it's going to be pretty dark.
Can we talk about Supergirl for a minute?
Yeah.
What a shitty character. Listen,
I disagree.
Okay, see, you know what it is for me? It's not that it's not the character. Let me take that back. I like the bulletproof things on the arms, right?
Yeah.
It's the invisible jet that I just can't get past.
Yeah.
The looks like you're sitting there and
what
you're
invisible
flying.
Jet? What are you talking?
She has an invisible jet, Supergirl, doesn't she?
And what? Oh, maybe one of the CW shows or something.
Does she not have an invisible jet?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Not in Justice League.
Yeah. What's the old one from the 60s, the old cartoon or whatever? There's
Wonder Woman?
There's one that has Wonder Woman.
Oh,
yeah. That's
yeah.
what I'm misconstruing.
Yeah, no, different
See,
character.
not a superhero guy. I'm going to shut up now.
She's an interesting character because she is older than Clark, and she sees the destruction of Krypton and stuff. So I think they're going to go into that.
She's a jaded character.
She is a jaded character.
That's what he said.
Yeah. That's what he said. And then finally, Swamp Thing they said it's going to be a horror movie. It's going to be loosely connected, which I think James Wan. Oh, actually, I saw that James Mangold is in talks to direct that. Love James Mangold. We've talked about him a lot. And then also the Batman movie. Seems like Ben Affleck might be the director of this one. It's rumored.
Love the town.
We'll see. What do you guys think? What excites you most on this list of movies?
I would say it's either Superman or Supergirl.
Okay.
Just because I'm a big fan of Supergirl in the Justice League Unlimited series, which I'm already on season 3 of that. Because I finished the original Justice League, and I love the character of Kara.
Yeah,
she's got a lot going on. She's a great kid, I gotta say.
Good kid,
true
Mad
art.
City.
It is a Mad City.
She wants to fight for justice, man. That's why she's part of the Justice League.
And from my understanding, the Authority would be kind of the opposite of Superman. They're doing it the wrong way. He's doing it the right way.
Dude, imagine did Superman and Supergirl do they fuck?
They're cousins.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude,
so I mean,
she's also like
we're all Italian. When is it?
Well, they're from Kansas, right?
Yeah,
she's like
right.
Hi,
They,
Matt. She's like
they're aliens.
Very, very young.
Who cares?
Right
she
on.
young
Maybe
buck?
he does a little Theon and his sister.
There
They
you
don't
go.
know it first.
Well, she looks young. At least I'll say that. So
Nick,
All right.
I know you're not you pick and choose with the superhero stuff. Anything excite you here? Swamp Thing, a little horror action.
I want to see Robin. I want to see.
I agree because we haven't seen him since Batman and Robin.
So there's like a dual. It's a double-edged sword, right? The idea of Batman being this vigilante and going out, the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Yeah.
It's dope. Like, that's so cool. But there's something to be said, in my opinion, about the dynamic duo. You know,
100%.
I agree.
having that, not like the Adam West version, although that does have its place in my heart. The old TV show series wise, but I don't know. I think there's something cool about the Holy Shnikes Batman. You know? Like
they're kind of inseparable in like pop culture.
Except
Batman and Robin.
Except that they've
Pop
been
Smoke.
separated for.
I was just thinking that.
But they've been separated for
Right,
quite a while now.
because of that shit movie. Yeah.
Whatever. So I want to know who plays the new Superman, and I'd like to see who plays Robin. And do we, if Batman's directed by Affleck, do we know who would be Batman?
They said it's not going to be Affleck acting as Batman.
Right, that's what
he
I'm asking.
famously wrote a Batman script before Matt Reeves came in, so I think they're probably going to rework that and bring him in to direct it. So I don't know who Batman will be.
Yeah. So I don't. So then, based on the way that the Robert Pattinson version was made, I don't think that would make sense to have Robin with that version of Batman.
I totally agree. Yeah, and I think this confirms that we won't see Robin in the Matt Reeves things.
Yeah. I don't know. We got a couple pictures.
Or it could
after
be
the
like
next,
Dick Grayson. It could be a different Robin, but
after the next list of things, the shows. I have the 2 pictures of the that you gave me. The Batman
perfect.
And then
Yeah. All right. So then we got some shows. So what James Gunn talked about is he wants to do an interconnected thing, kind of like Marvel, where things are gonna all come into place in one big story, which I like. That's good. DC didn't do it before. So Creature Commandos. Never heard of this before. It sounds exactly like something James Gunn would do. It's some like intergalactic, a bunch of freaks kind of like doing shit. That's all I really know about it. It's going to be animated. Waller. So Amanda Waller from Suicide Squad. Viola Davis is coming back. This is going to be a sequel to Peacemaker. And season 2 of Peacemaker is on hold right now because James Gunn's doing Superman. So they are bringing Viola Davis back. Now this one might be my most excited thing. Lanterns. Now, Sam, this is going to get you going here. Hal Jordan and Jonathan Stewart are going to be the main characters. It's described as a True Detective-esque HBO series.
Ooh.
And they're going to be doing an investigation on Earth.
I'm sold.
Come on.
I'm
now,
fucking
that's
sold,
all
dude.
right. I mean, we love the Justice League series.
I've been asking for Hal Jordan. I'm watching the Justice League Unlimited. He's not in it. It's still Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
Even when the other Lanterns come by, like if they collide for like a episode or whatnot,
right?
He's not involved.
Yeah, this gets me excited, especially like True Detective. What does that look like? Some lanterns? I'm
That's
excited.
what I'm saying. They're dressed up in a suit or something like that,
and
then next thing you know, they rip it off.
Come on, this is what I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
But Paradise Lost, it's described as a Game of Thrones-esque prequel to the Themyscira. So it's going to follow like the land where Diana Wonder Woman is from, but it's going to be before her birth. So clearly they're straying away from Wonder Woman until maybe Gal Gadot's like a few years away, and then they can recast her.
No.
And then Booster Gold Never heard of him before, but again, another James Gunn sounding character. He is from the future, goes back to the 80s, the fake being a superhero with modern technology. Comedy, he said it was going to be, so I'm sure it'll be funny. I mean, with Peacemaker, again, we didn't know who Peacemaker was, and James Gunn made a great show there. So what show here would you watch the most?
I would say definitely Waller and Lanterns.
Yeah.
Just because Waller, I feel like Peacemaker was fucking awesome.
Yep.
That movie was awesome. And Amanda Waller is a great character. I mean, she'll do it. She's cold, dude.
Yeah.
And we see just very little flashes of her in each of those projects.
Yep.
So it'd kind of be cool to like see the nitty gritty of what she's into. And then also what you guys were talking about, Green Lantern. I feel like that's a very famous character that has that one fucking terrible movie
Ryan
no one
Reynolds.
talks about.
Yep.
So I feel like there's opportunity there with the lanterns and shit. You know? I'd also just say, like, I think it's interesting. It's very clear Gunn has his own vision and he's just revamping it all. So even though I'm not like too excited, I will say I do think there's a lot of potential. Like if these like go well and he starts hitting, like to kind of like take over Marvel.
Because we didn't know who the Guardians were.
We had no idea. Peacemaker, any of that shit.
Yeah, so it's easy to say it now, but we'll probably be in later. But we still have to wait because Superman doesn't come out till 2025.
It's going to be a wait and see for me.
It is.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. Nick, any interest in any of these shows?
Yeah, I mean, no.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, you're not really in the superhero niche.
But I like
these
the,
are
I
all
like,
pretty.
I like the boys. And
Yeah.
I watched Watchmen, which was very good on
Watchmen
HBO.
was excellent.
What I do like about this news is it does seem like they're differentiating themselves from Marvel. They're not copying and pasting what Marvel did, and they're going to go weird. I wonder if James Gunn's tendency to do these weird characters is going to be iffy, especially when he's writing a Superman movie. He's not the guy I would pick to do a Superman movie, but we'll see. We'll see. We got to wait out and see, but I'm excited. Let's get into it, guys.
Oh, I have these two pictures.
Oh yeah,
real quick.
so these are pulled from comic images, obviously, but it gives you that's the Brave and the Bold comic and stuff. Damian is the son of Bruce and Talia Al Ghul, so he's kind of a little bastard. So that's going to be interesting. Superman, and then the other one was the Authority. Kind of gives me a Eternals vibes, but anyway, let's get into it. All right. I'm talking like Armand because he's in episode 3 from White Lotus. We love Armand. Episode 3 of The Last of Us came out. People got talking on Twitter, Instagram, everything. People were talking a lot. Good episode. I really liked it. Still like episode 1. Episode 1's my favorite episode so far. But basically we see Joel and Ellie beginning their trek on foot, trying to get a car from Bill, who you don't know who Bill is yet, but we learn about that this episode. I will say this episode started off on a funny foot because it said 10 miles west of Boston, just showed a mountain range. Like 10 miles west of Boston's like Cambridge.
Yep.
What the fuck? They shot this in Canada, which makes sense.
Boston,
Yeah,
It's unfortunate. They could have shot this in Springfield and it could have worked.
there is like some reservation 20 miles of Boston.
Yeah, or like
Maybe
they could have shot it in like the Berkshires. That would have been cool.
Yeah, right.
Something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
that was funny. But I don't know. I mean, this was a heavy prequel episode. They go back in time and they show the relationship between Bill, who is from the game, and Frank, who is alluded to in the game. We never see him. And you know, they stumble upon each other and things get going. They start a relationship together and they live a life together. And it was pretty sad. It was people are alluding to it as the beginning of Up. And yeah, but 50 minutes of it. I mean, what'd you guys think? Obviously, emotional episode. Lot went down. Matt,
I think that's the perfect way to put it. I think this was this episode evoked a lot of emotions.
Yeah,
because it started off pretty sad and like disturbing before like even this when they were walking.
Yeah,
and you see like all the skeletons and all the bones of the people who Fedra was taking. And they thought like they were going to be safe, and then they end up executing.
Yep.
You get to fucking Bill, and that was sick. That montage was him like prepping.
Yeah,
like he'd been waiting all his life for this. He's like, "Fuck yeah, I finally get to be alone." And I really didn't know what to expect. I was like, oh, maybe Joel and Ellie are going to meet them. And then he meets Frank. I thought Frank was maybe manipulating him at first.
He does get the vibe.
I'm like tread
first,
lightly.
yeah.
This is a little too good to be true. But ended up being like a beautiful story of kind of like making the most of it. You know what I mean? And they were still able to live like a beautiful life. And I kind of liked what it showed. It's like, even though it's the apocalypse and like the zombies and life sucks, like there's still something to live for. Like you use people to live for someone else. You know what I mean? Like Bill kind of found his purpose in Frank and vice versa. And I like at the end, Joel, like reading that letter. I feel like that was the moment
Connected
he kind of accepted. It's like, you know what? This is my purpose. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm still alive.
Right.
Let's get this done. And they played the song at the end that was like, I thought fit really well.
Yeah.
It was really emotional episode. It was
the piano song.
Yeah.
was
Well, he
good.
had that. I love that letter that he wrote him when he was like,
It's good.
because we're protectors, Joel, and I worry about any
that was good.
motherfucker that stands in our way. It was a great line. Sam, you like this episode?
Yeah, it was a great episode. Immediately after I watched it, I texted you guys and was
Yeah,
just
you
like,
did.
you're
Yep.
in for a great
I remember that.
episode. But yeah, no, overall, from start to finish, I enjoyed every bit of it, kept you entertained, especially the walk. And they see the plane crash, and Joel's telling Ellie, you
Little
know,
backstory.
don't go over there. You're not going to like what you see.
Yep.
But then she persists and wants to go.
Yeah.
But then we cut it over to Bill prepping. That was probably the best scene ever because it's just like, you know, he's
Ron
on his
Swanson.
own. He's just like, all right, we're going to prep for this. Goes to like the Home Depot, gets some
I love-
supplies.
Hey, Cumberland Farms. You see
Yeah,
that
Cumbies.
reference? Cumby
Cumbies.
Farms. That's great.
But yeah, no, he goes to Home Depot. Then it looks like the power goes out and he's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I can make my own power. And then just starts prepping, makes the fence, keeps making weapons in his basement, like the little safety bunker. And then he sees on the camera somebody fell into the hole that he dug, the trap.
Sure.
And then we meet Frank, who I think if I'm not mistaken, is the guy that screwed over Joel and
Yeah, you
Tess.
said that. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look.
'Cause-
Yeah.
Am I not mistaken? They were trying to get the car battery off of him. Was he the guy in the beginning?
No, I don't.
Was it Fireflies?
Because they were trying to get the car
Yeah,
battery
yeah.
from somebody in
I
like the
don't- I don't
first
think
or
so,
second
because
episode.
they end up seeing they end up hanging out with him. That's how Joel knows how to go back there.
Well, I'm
Yeah, I'd
just
have to
saying,
go
like,
back.
Remember, like they have throughout the relationship.
They were
like,
having dinner with each
that's
other.
where
yeah.
that's where Joel and Ellie are headed, is to Bill's.
Yeah.
compound.
Yeah.
So when they're showing the backstory of Bill and Frank, like you see that Joel already knows Bill and Frank. Like you see that
Right.
they
Right.
met and that
He wouldn't have screwed him over. in this-
Yeah, I don't-
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'd have maybe a guy named Frank. It just wasn't him. That
Or
would've
a
been-
person
nah,
looks
I
similar.
could have sworn it
Yeah.
was in like the second episode. But anyways, the storyline between Bill and Frank, I thought that was pretty good. You know, Bill finally has something to live for.
Right.
Very emotional scene at the dinner table, their last meal
Yeah.
together.
Spoilers, obviously.
But then the episode ends with Joel and Ellie on their way to embrace on the journey to go find Joel's brother.
Tommy boy, Tommy Wiseau. No, not him. Nick, what'd you think of this episode?
I thought it was really, really well done. I have not played the game, right? So
Yep.
I didn't know anything about these characters
Sure.
going into this episode. And I didn't expect it until the wine comment. A guy who knows to pair this with that. And when Bill was like, when he goes, I know I don't look like the type or whatever and all that stuff. And I went, oh, where's this going?
Right.
And then I was like, oh my God, Frank, right away. I was like, oh, here we go. You know? And I was like,
It moved a little fast,
I
no?
was like, look at this. I thought it was right on par
All right,
with
all right.
reality.
Yeah.
But I think the cool thing about this episode is it shows, here we go with the sentimental. But, I think it really shows how much we need other people in our lives.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people. I know a lot of people, and you find them a lot around here and up toward New Hampshire and stuff. Who people that are like, oh, I don't need anybody. I had a friend in high school who was very like camping and just being alone. You know, out in the wilderness and all that stuff. And like, yeah, that's fun for
Right.
a while. I get that not everybody's a social butterfly like myself, but it just goes to show you, like your life is better when you're around people that you can care for and that care about you. And I don't know, it really was. It was like the beginning of Up for 50 minutes. I thought it was a lot. I didn't think it was too emotional up until you see Frank in the wheelchair.
Yeah, and his final day.
I got little teary-eyed when they ate the strawberries, because it shows you the
simple things.
It shows you like how much they value these things now that everything's
These
gone.
moments. Yeah, little things.
It was cool that they had each other, and it was cool, blah blah blah. And then with the strawberry, like these little tiny moments of reality. I feel like I say this every episode of this show that we do. Whenever we review something, it's like the stuff that sticks out to me the most. It's like, oh, how do you even think of? Because dude, when you're writing a script of any kind, you got to think about your story. You got to think about like the whole story. Right. But it's these tiny little, almost seemingly insignificant moments that make these characters like. I mean, it was just incredible. Yeah. It was incredible.
And again, like no zombies. We had that one zombie where Ellie it's trapped and she kills it. But no zombies in this episode. It's all about the humans.
Besides the one that got killed by Bill's trap in the beginning.
Oh yeah. And there,
Favorite line from this episode was Bill saying, "There are no friends to be had."
Yeah,
like when he was having listen,
I
get it, but here's the reality, okay? There's no friends. We have no friends. There are no friends. I loved it.
That's why you get off from it, man. Good. It's a comedy genius.
He really surprised me. I'm serious. I didn't expect this episode out of him. I thought it was going to be another,
I definitely
Nick Offerman kind of bullshit thing.
I was wondering if I'd just be seeing Ron Swanson.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant.
He did a really good job.
They were both really good.
Oh, yeah.
They both did a great job. They both did really well.
But yeah, I was saying in the car, so in the game, Bill is alive when Joel and Ellie get there.
I like this better.
I agree with you. I think the way that they crafted the story, because Frank is only alluded to in the game, that this was a better ending for Bill. But part of me does wish we got to see, because Bill and Ellie have funny back and forths in the game and stuff, so it would have been good to see them. But I agree with you. I think with the way that they set this story up, it was a good conclusion for that character.
Oh, I also liked when Joel was talking very calmly about the when they do that show him and Tess meeting Bill and Frank.
Yeah.
And he says, "Get that fucking gun out of my face."
Yeah, he said it so nonchalantly. Yeah,
it was good. And I think Bill was like, "You're right. I'm sorry." It was like a good moment.
And he even says in the letter at the end, he's like, "I never liked you, but I respected you."
Yeah. And it's a very real thing. I don't know. Yeah. I liked it a lot. I get the chills talking about it. It was a great episode to me. I really liked it.
It was really good. And I like how they didn't show them in the bed either.
Yeah,
it was a great how it faded out. It was
these guys aged fucking terribly. Pedro Pascal, you put on a little gray. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, what's happening?
Hey, Pedro's keeping active, man.
I mean, I'm like, he's in a wheelchair. Pedro Pascal's out here killing fucking zombies.
Right? Yeah. No, they just grade him up. That's a good point. I actually thought of that.
I think it's interesting too. I didn't realize. So I know that the everything happened in it started in 2003,
right?
And then. They're now in 2025, I think. That's something, or that was when.
Well, they jump in this flashback. It goes to 2007, was when they meet Joel, and then 2010, and then 2023. So now is when it takes place.
But then after that is when they died in 2023, and then Joel and Ellie.
They died 2 weeks before they got there.
Oh,
yeah, that's why the radio goes off in the first episode.
Was it August?
I see.
Because they were dead and they hadn't been changing it. He said they.
Oh, and that's I thought about that when he said, "Wake me up before you go."
Yes,
and then he was like, "Oh shit, yeah." Like he knew something had happened.
Plus, Elle too. She's like, "Oh, is this the '80s?"
Yeah, exactly. So,
that was a cool moment. I don't know. It's a really cool episode. Put things in perspective.
How about the when they first get in the car? She's just kind of messing around with stuff or whatnot.
Oh yeah, she's never been in one.
And Joel's just like, "Oh, come on, what? You've never been in the car before?" She's like, "Yeah, I've never."
Oh, how crazy is that?
And then the seatbelt too. He's like, "Put your seatbelt on." She's looking around clueless, and then he's just like, "This right here," and then you put it right over here.
So at first I didn't get it right, immediately, why, how, why, what? Is she being? Because she's such a sarcastic character, she's such a little prick, you know. And then I thought it was really cool to see that a kid that would normally be rebellious and be like, "Come on, I don't want to put my seatbelt on," is excited to put the seatbelt on because you feel like you're in a spaceship kind of deal. So it's oh really? I got to do this that. That was a cool moment too. I don't know. It's little weird
little things again. Yeah,
it's great.
But I don't know. I mean, that was pretty. I mean, the bulk of this episode was about Bill and Frank, and I think they did a great job expanding those characters. But now it's literally just Joel and Ellie. They got the car now, and they're going cross country. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out. Yeah. All right. Movie Roulette. Movie of the week. Black Hawk Down. Ridley Scott's take on the Somalian encounter back in the 90s. 92, I think it took place in. This was a staple for me growing up. It was Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Black Hawk Down for some reason. Like,
really?
Yeah, I've seen this movie I don't know.
I've seen it a lot too, but only when I was older.
Probably shouldn't have been watching it at that age, but you know, it explains a lot.
I mean, I was watching Casino and The Godfather, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, listen, great cast. Obviously, we've been talking about Ridley Scott a lot. Really interesting, tense story. It definitely hasn't aged. My memory of it was more positive. I got some thoughts, but Matt, have you seen this before? Or was this your first time?
I had seen it one time before.
Okay.
And I'd only watched it because you and Joe would always fucking talk about how good Black Hawk. Like, whenever we were picking a movie, you'd be like, oh, what about Black Hawk Down? And so I was like, I got to watch it. But like you said, dude, rewatching it, a lot of big names. And even the names, like, there are a lot of familiar faces. You're like, I've seen that guy in a bunch of shit. Dude, I really like it. It's probably one of my favorite war movies. Not my favorite. My favorite's 1917. Ooh. But, dude, it was fucking awesome. And I felt myself, like you said, tensed up a lot of the time. Yeah. Like, what they kind of build it. Like, dude, when fucking Jamie Lannister.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, like, I get mad sometimes, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when shit happens. I think it's a good action-packed movie.
It's literally 2 hours of just action.
Yeah,
it doesn't stop.
I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot.
Sam, what'd you think of this?
So I like this movie. I've seen it a couple times before, including one time I believe we were coming back from Boston from some event when we were younger, SJS crew.
Yeah.
And we watched it in the car. I believe it was with Mike McShane.
I probably.
But no, it's a good movie. I'd say it's probably top 5 like war movies.
Okay.
Up there. But after watching it again, I would say I probably checked out about halfway through.
Oh. Yeah.
Because we had this discussion earlier. I don't know. It was just something about there needed to be something else than just, action 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Needed some dialogue, just kind of a little bit of something different, kind of stray away from just action happening.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because there's so many characters. I don't, Nick, what do you, because I have some thoughts about it that I want to expand upon.
It's based on a real story. I mean, it's
right.
It's a real mission that happened.
Right,
Like,
that's the tough part.
Why is that tough?
Well, because I watched Saving Private Ryan the other night.
Okay.
And that's an example of a movie where there's a lot of characters there, but there's still like small moments of like character development and interaction. I feel like this movie is just nonstop action. I mean, I guess that is the
movie's about the Black Hawk helicopter that went down.
Right. I get that, but like I guess for me, like I like Saving Private Ryan more because I get a little more emotional connection to the characters. Because
think about who consulted on this film and who told the story. Do you think those people have a lot of emotion about this stuff? I mean, I'm sure they do, but you think they're really going to get into it?
Right, but it's a movie. You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying it's not just a. I mean, it's technically like a little biopic. You know what I mean about this crew of guys that went in and it all got blown up. I mean, it's a horrible. It's a horrible film, a horrible scenario to be put in. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
You leave that when they set up that guy sitting there by himself, and they give him the gun, and they go, and it's like, we'll be back as soon as we
McGregor.
can.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Like this? It sucks.
That's the toughest scene to watch when he's sitting there in the helicopter. They pull out the pilot that they had just killed.
I mean, a lot of these films, Saving Private Ryan's good, but it's such an expansive film. Like there is time to develop characters.
Right.
I think this is a good example of something where it's like, we're in it, and this is our mission. Let's go do a mission. The whole mission gets fucked up. I mean, if you think about it, the mission is the movie. Right?
100%.
So it's like, we don't need to see, in my opinion, we don't need to see their families. We don't have to get involved in everything. The mission is the movie. And the thing that's craziest to me is like, yes, it is 2 hours of nonstop action-packed craziness. Imagine how long it really was. This is the highlight reel, basically, of everything that happened. I don't know. It's very intense. I would rather watch this than John Wick,
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least I think knowing that they are real people or were real people is enough for me to like get involved a little bit more. Saving Private Ryan, I need that emotional connection, or I can't really connect to the film. It's just a bunch of random guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm not saying like I think it's not a critique of the movie. It's just like I tend to lean more towards the ones that focus more on character. But it's still like props to Ridley Scott here for somehow directing a movie of this much action for 2 hours. Like I can't imagine trying to do this movie.
Yeah,
it's definitely one that you throw on when you literally have nothing else to watch. I mean, you see it the first time, and okay, great, but then if the repeat is like, what am I gonna watch? Oh, Black Hawk Down's good.
Yeah.
Click, you know?
And I've seen it so many times. It's just
How about the special effects and stuff like the cosmetics and whatnot that go into it? Like, how about the RPG shots, like the one that hits the tank that's driving by, and the fucking RPG is lodged in his torso. That was crazy.
I mean, it all looked practical to me. I'm sure they had some CGI stuff. Matt, how'd you fare in that surgery scene?
Dude, I look away. You know, I look away. No, but like you said, like these are like massive. I feel like you got a lot of these in like the early 2000s.
Big epics,
like, massive fucking actions, and like I miss those.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you like Bourne Identity?
It's coolest.
So like, but you look away with like the surgical, like
just
were you
things, you know.
Not to take us too far off track here. The Last of Us, when Nick Offerman, when he gets shot and then he has to get.
I looked away when she was dissecting the zombie. That grossed me out.
Yeah, but like they don't show like Frank putting his fist into this guy's like leg like they do in Black Hawk Down. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
they just showed him prepping like the
with the alcohol.
Yeah, that was fine because they didn't really. It was just he got shot.
Yeah,
you know. But like when she was dissecting the zombie, that grossed me out. I looked away.
Yeah, when it starts getting inside.
Yeah.
How
about Oberyn with the eyeball?
Yeah, I looked. I almost threw. I almost threw up.
Yeah,
because like it caught me off guard.
Something that makes me cry. Like I don't know. When they're movies, I really tend to just be like it's fake. And like going into, I'm like it's fake, and then I'm able to kind of get around it. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it looks too real. Nick.
Sometimes no, when
get lost in the sauce.
When what's his name sticks his finger in Inglourious Bastards when she's shot in the leg and he sticks his finger in there. That makes me do that.
Even when he fucking does the thing on their forehead.
See, that doesn't bug me.
And
that doesn't bug me.
It like makes me just I don't know.
You know, but the finger in the leg, like that immediate sense of pain. I'm like.
He just spoiled his appetite for tonight.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm still gonna eat.
But I will say this movie is not a light watch.
No.
You know, it's intense from start to finish, and it's funny because with these big epic movies, you do get those casts where it's like, here's $1 million, come in for a day,
dude. Fucking what's his Eric Bana? Is that his name?
Eric Bana's in it.
I like him.
Jason Isaacs,
he's cool.
Orlando Bloom, they make a big
Ewan
deal
McGregor,
out of him. He falls out of the plane.
Nicola Casawalda.
Who else? Mr. Fantastic from the original Fantastic Four movie.
Do you feel like, sorry to like bring it back down to earth, but like, do you feel like your opinion of the film has changed over the years? Like when you watch it and you're a little kid, it's like action packed.
But that's why like I like this more than Saving Private when I was a kid. Because I was focusing on action. Now I like appreciate the story and the characters more, so I gravitate more. Oh Jesus, more towards that. But no, it definitely has changed. I mean, I still respect the movie.
Oh sure, no, I'm just asking.
It's that my perspective.
I'm not sitting here saying it's better than Saving Private Ryan.
Right? Yeah.
But I get where you're coming from. But I don't know. I feel like there's I don't know. I work with a lot of vets too, so like.
I mean, I support the war movies. I love them. Yeah.
It's
we
cool.
love the veterans here on the Movie Mob podcast. But good movie. I think it sounds like we all enjoyed it. Classic Ridley Scott.
Of course.
Let's see what we're watching for next week. There it is. Here we go. Jeez, I'm hitting everything today. Alrighty, boy. 3. Oh, he's got full screen it. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. What are we watching?
It's gonna be black. Is the color?
It's gonna land on black. Oh, you might be right.
Off by 1.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Now that's all right. This is a classic.
This one I'm good with. This
is like the
why wouldn't you be?
OG comedy.
This is
like.
They don't make them like this anymore.
They don't.
You can't.
Quite literally.
Not allowed to.
Yeah, not allowed to.
This is awesome.
Kareem.
HBO, baby.
Do a little, just before we get off.
Make sure it's there.
Yeah, make sure it's there.
Caffrey loves this movie.
It's fucking hilarious. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar makes an appearance in this fucking movie.
Did you watch Kingdom of Heaven yet? Or are you watching that Friday?
Is Kareem in that one?
Oh, no, he's not.
I love Kareem.
It's just so fucking
You tell your daddy to drag your ass with Bill Walton all game long.
Yeah. I'm pumped.
I'm pumped too.
This
This is a
awesome.
classic.
And then wait. So we talked about this a few episodes ago. I just had a little like brain blast, Jimmy Neutron style. Are we doing? Or they're remaking this movie though?
No, they're remaking Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
it is.
same
Okay.
vein though. Yeah,
Same guy.
Yeah.
But awesome. Airplane, guys, watch it. One of the best comedies of all time. But all right. So before we finish off today, question of the day. I made one, but Matt has informed me that we got a comment. That I didn't see
for a question of the day, I believe. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what the comment was?
I do
Matt?
remember.
What was it?
It was I think they asked our favorite scene from the Batman movie.
Oh God.
Good question. Probably the best question we've got so far.
Directed purely at you.
Yeah. It's good, smart, intelligent viewers. They know
Sure.
the questions to ask. Great question. I would say my favorite scene is definitely. It's hard to pick because
We're really going with this.
a movie with every scene's like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's like a Victoria's Secret model. Which one? There's no wrong answer. But
Wrong question, but
my personal favorite is the car chase scene. When the Penguin is chasing Batman.
That's a great scene.
He goes, I got you.
Yep.
And then boom, explosion. Car flips over.
How's that go?
Boom.
Okay.
And then Batman just comes out, the theme's playing, and it's just fucking awesome.
Yeah. I'd have to go with the scene when the DA's strapped with the bomb.
Oh,
He's
good
gonna
scene.
go in. Yeah, that's
scene.
good. Sam, you
Good
got one
pick.
quick?
I think it's got to start off with the subway scene when
Good
he's
scene.
first introduced.
Good
He just
scene.
comes out of the shadows. I mean,
It's
what's
a
better
good
than
scene.
that?
He is the shadows.
He is the shadows.
He is the
Good
shadows.
scene. All
Well,
right.
Nick, you haven't seen it yet, but we're praying for the day you do. But the question of the day that I presented here, since we're talking about The Last of Us, this is going to start a trend, I feel, of video game adaptations coming in. What video game would you like to see next? Put in series or film? Is there anything that
Give me Link in the Marvel
wanna see
Sonic
the-
universe. Oh yeah.
the Marvel Sonic universe?
Super
Jeez.
Smash. Give me the Super Smash.
Okay,
universe.
no brainer there.
Yep.
Mine's easy. Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, you bastard! Well,
Yeah.
I don't play a lot of video games, and that was
Yeah.
really going to be mine. And I couldn't figure out. I didn't do the research. I just didn't
Yeah.
know if that was going to be something that
Not yet.
had already been made or not.
No, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that would be. I mean, all you guys would love that.
Oh, yeah. Red Dead's dope.
Yeah, and they could start. That could go 4 seasons. Like they could start with the second game and then go into the first one. That would be dope. And HBO's got to do it. Yeah.
Oh, if it's anything else, I will not
No.
watch it.
Yeah. Sam, you got one?
For old time's sake, let's bring back Halo.
They got to redo it. They did do that show, but I heard it was bad.
Yeah, no, they got to make it right.
Do a better show.
I feel like Battlefront would make a good movie. You know,
Which one?
Just
Like
a
Star
hunch.
Wars?
No, just
Yeah.
a hunch. You know, if they Star Wars, they did a movie with.
Yeah, I mean,
that
we
material.
obviously excited for God of War. Hopefully, that's good. That's one I want to see. Nick, you got another one other than Red Dead?
Not really.
Yeah.
Kratos.
I mean, there's a ton of games.
I was always the kind of kid that would watch the movie and then get the video game about.
Oh,
the
they don't do
movie.
that anymore.
I
Yes.
know. I know. That
the
was
Revenge
big.
of the Sith video game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude,
That was a
The
sick
Lord of the
game.
Rings games.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob Xbox,
Yes.
the best
Yep.
game that ever. Dude, when you go down the slides and SpongeBob goes down on his tongue, Sandy
Yeah.
goes down on a seashell.
Yep.
Dude, that's some
Those are
dope
good games.
video game, early 2000s stuff.
No.
right
Rub a
there.
dub dub slip slide in the dub.
Amen.
There you go.
Amen. But
You know.
I'm still surprised to this day they haven't made a Call of Duty film. Based on that's
I
like
don't
the
know.
best selling series out of it. Like you'd think they'd be a no brainer, but I'm sure we'll get it one day. But yeah, that'll do it for today's episode of the Movie Mob Podcast, guys. As always, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Send in your questions. We'll answer them as you see
Yep.
here. Even if it's just about the Batman, we'll answer it.
Especially if it's about the Batman.
But yeah, guys, Movie Mob every Friday at 6 p.m. Be there. We're watching Airplane next week, so be sure to watch that. And we'll talk about Last of Us episode 4 when that comes out. So we'll see you then, guys. How you doing?